Now, a pair of conflicting judgments delivered within a space of 5 minutes by 2 appeal court justices on election petitions from Abia State is the latest addition to a growing conversation around the performance of the judiciary on the last elections. A former Abia State Commissioner for Information and a stakeholder in the People's Democratic Party, that's Eze Chikamnayo, joins us now to provide greater clarity. A very warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Newsday. Now, let's get straight into it. One of those judgments was described by the Labour Party chairman in the state, that's C.K. Igara, as a rape of democracy and a robbery of the people's mandate based on frivolous technicalities. What is your take on these conflicting issues that have arisen from the courts?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, that statement by the chairman of the Labour Party was unfortunate and very condemnable, because not just because he's not a lawyer and he's not versed with the issues that were canvassed before the tribunal, but because it has become a pattern with the Labour Party. The Labour Party has become a party of mob sentiments, mob action. When they win in the tribunal, it's fine and good. Everybody is happy. Everybody goes home rejoicing. But the moment they lose, all hell is let loose. In Abia State, the Labour Party has decided on their own to vilify the judiciary over a very plain issue. The issue before the court was that of non-compliance. It's not talking about internal party primaries. It's settled before the courts, both the lower courts and the higher courts, that when you are dealing with internal party issues, you have to have locus, you have to be part of the process. But when it has to do with two political parties in a contest, let me explain. Internal party politics, internal party primaries, the courts say, let them sort it out within themselves, obeying their own rules. So to acquire the locus, you must be part of that process. But when that process is over, and you are not competing with another party, PDP, APC, any other party that has been part of that election, by our laws, Section 84, by our laws, any other party can say, the candidate produced by my fellow contestant in the other party is in compliance with the Electoral Act or is in non-compliance with the Electoral Act. And that's a facting issue in this matter. So the decision of the Supreme Court in Akobondo versus Darlington is very, very correct and very laudable, because it has been settled before our courts that non-compliance, issues of qualification is both pre-election and post-election, which means that it can be challenged pre-election by a member of the party who participated in the process, but post-election by other parties who participated in the election. That is to say that if you are a member of another party and you are inquiring into the primaries of a different party, you can be called an interloper. But if a party has produced a candidate and you are a candidate from another party, your party reserves the right to query the compliance of other contestants, as it were, the other parties, in line with our laws, Constitution, and the Electoral Act. And that's what happened. So it's a very clear and very, very, very beautiful judgment. And indeed, Labour Party in Abia State should have lost other seats. I don't see the reason why Honorable Jinjo Onsibe should still be there. A person like Abazwere should have been declared. I don't see the reason why Amobioga should still be there. Honorable Nkiru Konye Jocha should have been declared, because Amobioga, Jinjo Onsibe, and all of them that jumped from PDP 24 hours, 48 hours into Labour Party, and in a manner that the party did not comply with very clear provisions of the Electoral Act, not just Section 77, but other sections of the Electoral Act that has to do with nomination of candidates. Those people, up till now, I'm yet to see the judgment, so I don't want to preempt what has been done there, but Amobioga should not be there. Nkiru Jocha ought to be there. Jinjo Onsibe ought not to be there. Abazwere ought to be there. The Labour Party in Abia State did not exist before the election. There was nothing like Labour Party in Abia State before, up to 48 hours before the election. They did not do primaries anywhere. and they did not comply with relevant sections of the Electoral Act. So it is still magic. It is still something that is unexplainable. It is something outside our laws. How they get crashed, broke all the laws, is still unimaginable.
Oh, we hear you.
So those of them in the streets,
no,
those of them in the streets, more here, who are, enjoying themselves, most of them are supporters of the man that was asked to go home by the Court of Appeal. They have the democratic right to enjoy their picnic. But the truth is that they are in error, and we don't want to join issues with them. We have, as a party, the PDP, lost some seats, 4, 5, 6, 7. We did not go to the streets. Nigeria must beware of what is going on in the Labour Party as per the way they react. Their knee-jerk reaction to democracy is a very dangerous and very, very imminent danger to our democracy. Labour Party in Nigeria has become a party of hypocrisy. They don't practice what they preach. They only talk about democracy when it has to do with bullying people, either through the social media or sometimes through irrational and the weaponization of the Nigerian Labour Congress and things like that are undemocratic. They are not, and I repeat, they are not interested in democracy. They are interested in bullying every Nigerian. And it's very regrettable that the Labour Party in Nigeria is turning into an imminent and present danger to our democracy. They don't have democratic temperament. They abuse the INEC at will when it doesn't suit them. They abuse the judiciary at will when it doesn't, suit them. And then they turn blind eyes on our laws. They do not comply with the Electoral Act. They do not comply with the Constitution. And they just want to bully everybody, shout down everybody, criminalize everybody. Every Nigerian should be very, very careful, because what Labour Party is doing to our democracy is something that, if it is not immediately checked, if it is not immediately handled, is capable of truncating this democracy. If every other party in Nigeria is behaving like the Labour Party, there would have been no Nigeria by now. But we need to have a nation. We need to have peace. We need to have stability to have a Nigeria. And I'm very, very angry. I'm very, very upset. I'm very disappointed that a party chairman in a state where they know within their conscience, within their mind, that they did not exist, they did not comply with the Electoral Act, the Constitution. They poach candidates sometimes up to less than 6 hours before the election and put their names on the list and push them forward. And when the law says, no, this thing you have done is not okay, this thing you have done is not fine, they'll turn around and begin to bully everybody, the judiciary, INEC. Even if you come out here as a presenter or somebody in the television and say this is wrong, you become their victim. So both the PDP in Abia and Abians in general, everybody of goodwill, we are condemning the rascality of the Labour Party in Abia State, as represented by the very unfortunate and very, very unbecoming statement credited to the chairman there. Colonel Akobundu won that election fair and square, and the courts have agreed, and he will remain in that seat, just like those who defeated other parties in the various positions are on their seats, and nobody is making noise. Look at what is happening in Plateau. 3 members of the House of Rep have lost their seat. They all belong to the PDP. The Honorable Minister of Labour, Chief Lalong, Barrister Lalong, has just won his seat. Nobody is making noise. That's a place where PDP has lost almost 5 to 8 seats in a row. You don't see them bringing down heaven to earth. But if that is Labour Party, by now the whole country would have been ablaze. We must be wary. We must be careful of what Labour Party is introducing to the Nigerian political terrain, which is violence, which is bullying, which is mob action, mob mentality, and it is going to be very detrimental to our democracy. We must condemn it, and we must make sure that we make it very clear to everybody that what Labour Party is doing is not democracy, it's not the way to go about it. No respect for the judiciary, no respect for INEC, destruction of our institutions in the name of politicking is not going to help anybody.
Well, Mr. Eze Chikamnayo, former Commissioner of Information for Abia State and PDP stakeholder, thank you for sharing your perspective and for joining us here on Newsday. We appreciate your time.